Shilo Sanders brings something refreshingly old school: defense, grit, and a relentless hunger to prove he belongs, not just as the son of a legend, but as a force in his own right. At 24, Shilo has emerged not merely as a safety with keen instincts and explosive tackling ability, but as a cultural figure whose journey reflects a deeper narrative of identity, resilience, and generational transition. Born on February 9, 2000, in Texas, Shilo is the middle son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion "Primetime" Sanders. From day one, his life was never far from the camera lens or the stadium lights. Yet despite the proximity to greatness, and perhaps because of it, Shilo's story is less about inheritance and more about intention. His childhood was a blend of opportunity and scrutiny, shaped by elite athletic exposure, but also the burden of comparisons. And while his brother Shedeur was often seen as the heir apparent at quarterback, Shilo was carving his own path on the other side of the ball, with less flash, but no less fire. Raised in a household where sports were more than recreation, Shilo's early years were spent absorbing the nuances of the game directly from his father, watching film, learning the language of coverage schemes, and understanding the psychology of opponents. But his mother, Shilo Sanders, played an equally vital role. A model and entrepreneur, she instilled in Shilo the value of presence, personal expression, and emotional intelligence. That dual influence, Prime's intensity and Pilar's groundedness, helped shape a young man who could bring charisma to the field and clarity to his purpose. Shilo first made his name on the prep circuit while attending Trinity Christian School in Cedar Hill, Texas. Under the tutelage of his father, who served as offensive coordinator, Shilo flourished on defense. He tallied 34 tackles and 4 interceptions as a senior, including 2 pick-sixes, and led the team to a state championship. Though overshadowed by Shedeur's gaudy passing stats, Shilo earned recognition as a consensus 3-star prospect. His path to stardom, however, would not follow the straight line of hype and promise that defined so many of his peers. Instead, it would require detours, decisions, and the maturity to choose patience over spotlight. Rather than joining a blue-blood SEC program out of high school, Shilo enrolled at the University of South Carolina in 2019. His freshman year was a crash course in the demands of elite college football, facing SEC offenses, adjusting to speed, and refining technique. In 2020, he broke out with 32 tackles and a team-leading 3 forced fumbles, earning a reputation as a ball-hawking safety with a knack for big moments. But something didn't feel right. The environment lacked the family-first ethos he had grown up around, and after 2 seasons, Shilo made the bold decision to transfer, not just to a new program, but to a new chapter of his family's narrative. That new chapter was Jackson State University, where his father had just taken over as head coach. The move was more than symbolic, it was transformative. At JSU, Shilo not only reconnected with his roots as a student-athlete at an HBCU, but also discovered a deeper sense of purpose. Under Coach Prime's guidance, he became one of the SWAC's most disruptive defenders, totaling 39 tackles, for interceptions, and multiple pass breakups during his first season. But more importantly, he became a leader, an anchor for a defense that helped power Jackson State to an undefeated regular season and national media attention rarely afforded to HBCUs. Off the field, Shilo began to come into his own. He studied mass communications, launched his own social media brand, and produced content that blended humor with insight. His viral moments, including mock interviews, pre-game dances, and humorous jabs at opponents, showed a player unafraid to lean into his personality. Yet behind the showmanship was a scholar-athlete with a 3.5 GPA, deeply engaged in the cultural importance of HBCUs and the platform he now occupied. In interviews, he spoke not just about football, but about history, identity, and the value of visibility for Black athletes at traditionally underserved institutions. When the Sanders family made the high-profile move to the University of Colorado in 2022, the college football world buzzed with curiosity. Could Deion's brand of coaching succeed at the Power 5 level? Could Shedeur's quarterback play translate to the Pac-12? And what of Shilo? Would he still be the unsung glue that held the defense together? The answer was emphatic. In the 2023 season, Shilo emerged as one of the Buffalo's most consistent defensive forces. He logged 70 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 returned for a touchdown, and 3 forced fumbles, numbers that placed him among the top safeties in the conference. His hard-hitting style, instinctive reads, and vocal presence on the field helped Colorado start the season 3-0, shocking ranked teams and turning the Buffaloes into a media sensation. Though the team eventually finished 5-7, Shilo's performance earned him All-Pac, 12 honorable mention and national recognition as one of the leaders of college football's most fascinating cultural experiment. But statistics only scratch the surface of Shilo's value. His presence in the locker room, often as a mediator between strong personalities, proved crucial. Teammates described him as the bridge between offense and defense, and Coach Prime himself called Shilo the heartbeat of the secondary. His ability to hold his own under the weight of a family name, while still supporting the larger team vision, highlighted his emotional intelligence and maturity. In a college football landscape increasingly shaped by nil deals and social media optics, Shilo has walked a careful tightrope, building a personal brand without compromising team focus. His NIL endorsements with brands like Beats by Dre, Overtime, and Actively Black have earned him an estimated $1.4 million on 3, yet he often redirects the attention to community work. In 2024, he helped organize youth football camps in both Texas and Colorado, offering mentorship and skill building to over 500 aspiring players. He's also worked with mental health advocacy groups, speaking candidly about the pressures of growing up in the limelight and the importance of therapy and self-reflection. Shilo's relationship with his father remains a defining element of his story, but it is no longer the sole lens through which he's viewed. Where once he was Deion's son, he is now his own man, one whose career arc reflects a commitment to values, loyalty, and self-belief. Their playful banter in press conferences and social media clips often goes viral, but beneath the comedy lies a mutual respect. "He's earned everything he's got," Deion said in a 2024 ESPN interview. "He doesn't ride my coattails, he builds his own." Looking ahead, Shilo's professional future seems poised to take off. With the 2025 NFL Draft looming, analysts project him as a mid-round pick, with some suggesting he could rise higher depending on his combined performance. At 6'1", 200 pounds, with proven speed, anticipation, and tackling ability, he fits the mold of the modern hybrid safety, capable of dropping into coverage or closing gaps in run support. More than one scout has compared him to Antoine Winfield Jr. for his versatility and IQ. But for Shilo, the NFL isn't just a destination, it's another platform. In recent interviews, he's expressed interest in continuing his education, possibly pursuing a master's degree in media studies or entrepreneurship. He's also exploring opportunities in broadcasting, where his natural charisma and insider knowledge could make him a compelling voice in the next generation of athlete analysts. Despite the attention, fame hasn't changed Shilo much. He remains close to his siblings, including older brother Deion Jr., who manages media for Well Off Forever, and younger sister Shalomi, who plays basketball for Colorado. Faith remains central to his life, anchoring him during both injury setbacks and moments of triumph. He often quotes scripture in post-game reflections and credits his spiritual foundation for helping him stay grounded. Shilo also makes time for levity. He's a big fan of anime, particularly Naruto, and lists Lil Baby and Rod Wave among his favorite artists. His fashion sense is bold and eclectic, and he's not afraid to show it off on Instagram, where he's built a following of over 700,000. But through it all, he remains committed to authenticity. "I'm not trying to be Prime 2.0, he said in a 2024 interview with The Undefeated. "I'm just trying to be the best version of Shilo." That best version is still unfolding. But what's clear is that Shilo Sanders has already done something remarkable. He has emerged from the long shadow of legacy not by outrunning it, but by stepping into it with pride, purpose, and his own distinct stride. He's not just a name. He's a narrative, a defender, a leader, a voice. And in a world where loud often drowns out thoughtful, Shilo Sanders is proving that the most powerful players are the ones who speak not just with words, but with action, consistency, and heart. Thank you for exploring the journey of a player whose vision reshapes the game. Keep watching, keep dreaming, and remember, sometimes the strongest leaders are the ones who pass first.